uh, to this webinar. So I would like to thank all the participants. And at this note, I would request Rakesh Kohl Sahab. Rakesh is based in New Jersey. He is a passionate community member and activist, a very successful entrepreneur who is an author, an accomplished author, writer, and have published several books. He is also a co-founder of Global Kashmiri Pandit Diaspora. So on this note, welcome Rakesh ji, floor is yours.
Thank you, Surinder ji. Jai Sharda Desh. To our distinguished viewers, elders, youth torchbearers, global community, and Member of Parliament, Mr. Vivek Tankha, Namaskar Sarni. Welcome to this historic town hall on the Tankha 2022 Private Members Bill, formally titled the Kashmiri Pandits Recourse, Restitution, Rehabilitation and Resettlement Bill. Today we do not gather to plead. We gather to proclaim, not to mourn, but to move, not as migrants, but as rightful citizens. Today we are here to reshape our future with dignity, with rights, with constitutional resolve. Our story is not a tale of grievance. It is a saga of grit. Every Kashmiri Pandit generation has carried the torch in the language of politics, law, and now the Constitution of India. In 1991, the Panun Kashmir Margdarshan Resolution, a fierce roar from exile, union territory, self-governance, homeland. It was our first declaration of self-determination. We salute the Panun Kashmir pioneers. In 2018, the Global Kashmiri Pandit Diaspora Unified Declaration. The torch passed, the tone sharpened, our truth was spoken. Not migration, not exile, genocide, spelled out, shouted out, signed by 16,767 individual Kashmiri Pandits and 35 leaders. The GKPD Unified Declaration became the moral constitution of the Kashmiri Pandit community. It was endorsed worldwide and also echoed by officials. It was etched into public memory. In 2019, the GKPD Article 370 Intervention Affidavit on KP genocide, led by Mr. Virender Kaul. As a result, Justice Sanjay Kaul, in his concurring but separate opinion, became the first Supreme Court judge to explicitly acknowledge our suffering and called for our return, rehabilitation, and restitution. In 2022, Assembly seat recognition. Thanks to a powerful submission by Ashwini Chagluji, backed by GKPD, and especially Utpal Kaulji, 2 legislative seats were awarded to displaced KPs. It was the first time India wrote in law what we have lived. We are a displaced people from the state. In 2023, GKPD elaborated on its homeland vision of return and administrative council under the 6th schedule of the Indian Constitution. Crafted by Professor Aurobindo Ogra, this wasn't a dream, it was a blueprint. We will return not as victims, we will return as decision makers of our own destiny. Mass domicile reclamation, thousands declared, we were never gone, we were exiled, and we will return. I cannot tell you how proud I am at what GKPD has contributed selflessly to the community without seeking any recognition for the welfare of our community, and most importantly, want to recognize the tireless work of my fellow co-founder, Dr. Surinder Kaul. As you can see, we may be small in numbers, but it only takes one Kashmiri Pandit to speak the truth to the world. But the best was yet to come, because along came a man and the movement, a light bearer in the dark, Mr. Vivek Tankha. With relentless input from GKPD and his sharp legal mind, supported by his team, who I want to recognize, Mr. Arjun Harkauli and Mr. Ankit Chansoria, March 22 witnessed a constitutional movement. The Tankha Bill was born on the floor of Parliament. In my eyes, Mr. Tankha didn't draft a bill. He drafted a bridge back to dignity. And just as the GKPD Unified Declaration marked a legal turn, the Tankha Bill today has become its constitutional heir. It is a bill of firsts, and our community really, really needs to study it. Mr. Tankha is going to walk us through it in great detail. But let me highlight it is a bill of firsts. First time genocide recognition under Indian law. First time a Hindu minority status in the nation. First time an appointment of a judicial tribunal with prosecutorial teeth as opposed to the Commission of Inquiry Act in 1952. First time a mandatory temple and shrine restoration, property rights restitution, domicile job rights reinstated, 10% reservation, legislative representation guaranteed, and for the first time, incredibly, the right of self-defense for Kashmiri Pandits, one license per family to bear arms. Never again will we be defenseless. But beyond its trailblazing structure, what I find extraordinary is the soul of the Tankha Bill. This is a biased bill, and proudly so. The Tankha Bill is biased towards the widow in the camp, the economically weak student, the unemployed youth, the child raised on ration cards, the voice unheard for 35 years. This bill says you are not invisible if you are on the margin. The Constitution will see you now. Now, in passing, some people have asked, hey, where is the demand for UT, Autonomous Council, political reorganization of the state? And the answer is the bill is not naive, it is strategic. Article 3 demands presidential assent for any reorganization. A private member bill cannot carry this. Including it would have guaranteed rejection. This is not omission, this is precision. And yet it leaves the door open for GKPD's Autonomous Council vision to find fertile ground in the future. What I find exciting about this bill is it's not just about us. It is about how democracies can repair what they tragically allowed to break in the first place. Yes, for us, it's a pathway for return, rebuild, resettle with dignity. But India has had many such dark experiences, and this is a template for all of them. But more important, for the world, it provides an extraordinary pathway that genocide redress can happen without violence, without vengeance, within the democratic framework. And the Tankha Bill, folks, goes beyond the UN Genocide Convention. The UN defines genocide. The Tankha Bill prosecutes it. The UN ignores cultural erasure. This bill restores it. This is not just policy, it is pioneering justice. It can become the jewel in the crown of Indian democracy, a gift to the world which has much conflict. The road ahead, we have to take responsibility. The Tankha Bill has lit the flame. We must fan it into action in Parliament, in Jammu and Kashmir, in Indian media and civil society, in the international arena. I end with a call for unity. For 35 years, we were told, be silent, be grateful, be invisible. This bill tells us, and it tells the world, be visible, be lawful, be restored. So let this not be a movement, let this be a movement. There is no superior memorandum that can be crafted. The Tankha Bill is the apex of a genius at work. So if you are a Kashmiri Pandit and you are asked, हम क्या चाहते हैं? The answer going forward has to be, हम Tankha Kashmiri Pandit Bill चाहते हैं. So let us unite, every Kashmiri Pandit, every seeker of justice. Let us speak as one voice. Let us rise as one people. Let us go back home together. And now it is my great pleasure to welcome the man that all of you have been waiting for, Member of Parliament Mr. Vivek Tankha. I had the pleasure of screening his movie, The Renaissance Man. I would in New York at the New York Film Festival. I would ask every association in India to welcome Mr. Tankha and screen that movie. It'll fill you with pride. He's a legal prodigy, renowned parliamentarian, and senior advocate of the Supreme Court of India. Appointed as the youngest Advocate General of Madhya Pradesh in 1999 at the age of 42, he quickly gained national recognition for his constitutional expertise and unwavering commitment to justice. He is a distinguished member of the Rajya Sabha. It is our stroke of luck that he is widely respected across party lines for his statesmanship, legal brilliance, and his pivotal role in championing civil rights, minority protections, and landmark legal reforms. I know that one day he will add the crowning feather in his cap, which is that the historic Kashmiri Pandit bill, recourse, restitution, rehabilitation, resettlement that he has proposed will be turned into law. Welcome, Mr. Vivek Tankha.
Thank you, Rakesh ji. Thank you, Surinder ji, and thank you every person who's with me in this program and everybody who's hearing us from long distances also. Let me start by saying that this bill represents a mission. It is true that we must have left Kashmir at least 100 years back, but the Kashmiriyat never left us. And I used to always wonder, why are my people suffering? And there's so much less redress for them. I recollect in the 90s, when I was one of the top lawyers of Madhya Pradesh in Jabalpur, where the High Court is located. And at that time, fortunately, Colonel Ajay Mushran, my father-in-law, was the finance minister of the state, another Kashmiri Pandit. We were the first state in India, second state in India after Maharashtra, to bring a lot of reservations and college seats for the Kashmiri Pandits. One of the beneficiaries of what Madhya Pradesh did is Dr. Surinder Kaul in the 90s, I remember, and his group of friends also. So to a large extent, what Madhya Pradesh did in 93-94, following Maharashtra pattern, was because of Colonel Mushran, who again was a Kashmiri Pandit. I also remember that in 2002, when I was the Rotary governor, and we had a big Rotary event in Jabalpur, I crafted a full session for Kashmiris, for what we can do for the Kashmiri Pandits and the Kashmiris. And guess who all came for that program in 2002? Mahesh Bhattji was there, Ashok Pandit, my friend, was there, Agni Shekharji was there, and Moti Kaul was there. So frankly speaking, for me, this issue of Kashmiri Pandit has never been a party issue. It's my own community issue. I've looked beyond party prisms because this is a case of gross injustice, a gross inhuman treatment, a gross displacement of a whole community, and now it's 35 years. When I got an opportunity to go to Uri when the earthquake took place, I remember I met the army contingent on the foothills, and Amit Machu and others were with me at that time. And even on that day, those people were telling me that, sir, if we don't build resettlement, those places for the rescue, for the people in the earthquake-affected area at a record speed. More people would die out of frostbite than they've died because of the earthquake. And I came back, informed the government, and something had happened also at that time. When I became an MP for the first time in 2016, I got a call from Rajouri, and the commandant of the army called me from there, Brigadier Singh. And he says, Mr. Tankha, I'm told you are very kind towards Kashmir. I said, of course. He says, we have a school for the victims of terrorism and the children there. And we run a school, which is the Army School of Hope. And can you give us a bus from your MP fund? It took me 1 second to say yes. And I sent a bus through the collector, Jammu, at that time, I remember. So anything for Kashmir, I'm always willing to do. So I kept thinking and pondering over till I met friends like Dr. Surinder Kaul, Pandit Ravindra Pandit ji, and many more such good friends, Ashwani ji. We were all in touch. And they started telling me that we should be doing something more for our community. And I was wondering, what is that more that I can do? And that is how, in consultation with all my Kashmiri friends and parliamentary consultants, we crafted and drafted a bill which I introduced in my first session as an MP. My parliamentary rule is that once your term finishes, your bill also lapses. So that bill which I presented, which was also admitted, there's an admission motion, lapsed at that time. Then when I got my second term, it was COVID time, I remember. After that, I made my second attempt. This time the bill again was admitted. And then recently, to get this bill placed for consideration, it had two impediments. One, it has to be selected, and it also needed the presidential assent. Now, presidential assent is important because it has financial implication. And very few private member bills get presidential assent. But because the bill represented the yearning of this community of 35 years, we got the presidential assent, which is a very rare thing to happen. And number two, we were lucky, and you were lucky, and we were all lucky that my name came in the draw of lots, because these bills come up for presentation before the parliament only on the basis of a lot system before every session. I was fifth, and since this is not a very long session, we have only 2 Fridays afternoons when it can be put up for consideration, and on an average, each bill which is put for consideration takes about 2 hours. So I was fifth. So I was, even with 2 bills a day, it would have been 4, and I would still be fifth, waiting on the margin. I was keeping my fingers crossed that maybe somebody may not come, or some bill gets passed over, I'll get a chance. But unfortunately, the first Friday we have lost because there was no parliament that day. It was a washout. And now the second Friday comes this week, when the bills will be again placed for consideration. Then there'll be 4 bills before me. So I'm still wondering how to get my bill prioritized. I'm always thinking, what can I do next to get what we call an early hearing in Supreme Court, an early hearing in Parliament. So today I have drafted 4 letters, which I will deliver tomorrow. And I'm requesting Nadda ji, I'm requesting Kharge Sahab, I'm requesting Home Minister Amit Shah ji, and I will be requesting Sonia ji and the deputy chair, she is a parliamentary party leader of the Congress party, and the deputy chairperson of the Rajya Sabha, Harvansh ji, that how do you help me to prioritize this bill? Because even if it doesn't come up in this session, I would still like the help of the government to prioritize it in the next session if possible. Now, take it for granted, a bill like this can never see the light unless it gets government support. It has to get government support. And we have to reach out to the government to support this bill. I have, in fact, on the day of the presentation of the bill, I actually, with folded hands, asked the entire Parliament. I said, this bill is not about any party. This bill is not about any person. This bill is about justice to a community which is in exile in its own country. This is the first instance in the world that a community gets exiled in its own country. And everybody has a lot of empathy for us. But the point is, this empathy has to translate into some sort of a tangible action. And the action plan can only come if there is a law which takes us forward. So this bill is actually a product of that thought process to try and make a law which give guidance to the executive to take the justice mission forward. Now, let me just tell you briefly what is the bill about. You know, in the bill, I start by defining what is who is a Kashmiri Pandit, and I have given a very expansive meaning after consulting everybody. And I'm not reading because reading will take a long time, and we'll place this bill. It is there it's a property of the Parliament. It is in public domain, so it's available for anybody to read and decipher. So we gave a very expansive meaning, so that anybody who has a linkage with Kashmir, because most of you have also left Kashmir 35 years back or 30 years back. So I may have left 100 years back, but you left 35 years back now. It's nearly 30, 35 years. So we have to ensure that everybody who has left Kashmir, and who continues to have Kashmiriyat and Kashmiri linkages, must get his right or liberty to get back to the homeland. So it starts with defining who's a Kashmiri Pandit. Then in section 3, we say that there should be an advisory committee, and this advisory committee will have 21 representatives of Kashmiri Pandit, with at least 3 members from the global Kashmiri Pandit diaspora, out of which at least 1 member shall be a woman, and 2 representatives of non-Kashmiri Pandit minorities of the Kashmir Valley. So this advisory committee will have powers to effectively represent the best interests of the Kashmiri Pandit community as stated in the Global Kashmiri Pandit Diaspora Unified Declaration, to the Prime Minister to assert the right of return, rehabilitation, and restitution, and advise the government accordingly. So it's like a apex advisory body. Then in chapter 2, this is chapter 1. Chapter 2, I have tried to outline how this government can issue certificate of domicile to any person who comes within the definition of that section. And there are various clauses of who's eligible to be a domicile. It's like, is registered as a migrant by the Relief Commissioner, is eligible as per criteria mentioned in Rule 5 of the Jammu and Kashmir Grant of Domicile Certificate Procedure Rule 2020, is related biologically or through birth, lineage, or marriage, or adoption, or culturally mandated kinship ritual, has an ancestor who was a resident of the undivided state of Jammu and Kashmir as on May 44, can prove that this ancestor, as referred in clause 3 of the subsection, migrated out of Kashmir prior to 44, and all that. Why I'm saying all this is actually a draft. At the end of the day, this is a draft which will be put to discussion. If it is put to discussion, every member of parliament is allowed to speak and contribute. When they contribute, they also move amendments. Then when they move amendments, those amendments are also voted. And then if in some form or amended form this gets passed by Rajya Sabha at some stage, this session, next session, or another session, then it has to go to Lok Sabha, where again it will be debated, where again they will have the right to move amendments. So it is a big process. We have only initiated the process, but the process is still long, and we need a lot of hand-holding. We need a lot of support to be continuously at it. I mean, I'll have to be on the head of most of these people to keep pressurizing them that what are you doing with my bill? Why aren't you taking it forward? Why aren't you getting it discussed? Let's have an early date. How long are the Kashmiris going to suffer? So this is a process which we have to push. And the first push I'm going to go give tomorrow is by requesting all the tall leaders of both sides, opposition and the ruling dispensation, that I need your support. I need your support to prioritize this bill because I can't see my community suffering for so long. It's 35 years. It's not a small time. And I'm sure with some empathy and support, they will find a way how to prioritize it. Because at the end of the day, I don't control the parliament. The parliament proceedings are controlled by bigger people, the government, the leaders of the opposition. There's an advisory council also. So I have to keep telling them this is an urgent issue on your head. You can't avoid it. You have to get into this business and allow me to do this. And this persistence will pay someday. Then coming to chapter 3, I've spoken about social, political, and economic rehabilitation of the community, that how to grant a minority status to Kashmiri Pandits. This can be granted because there's a Supreme Court judgment which says that the minority status is qua a state. It's not qua a country. So a Hindu can be a minority in one of the states in India, though he may be a majority in the rest of the country. So this is in terms of the Supreme Court judgment that I'm asking for this status. Similarly, saying declaration of Kashmiri Pandits as victims of genocide and change their official nomenclature to internally displaced persons with immediate effect. And then I'm also asking for a white paper on the issue of Kashmiri Pandit documenting all events in Kashmir Valley pertaining to the atrocities and the plight of the Kashmiri Pandits starting from the year 1988 till the enactment of this act within 3 months from the date of enactment of this act, to be prepared by a high-level committee comprising of a retired Chief Justice of India as chairman, two retired judges of the Supreme Court of India as members, two sitting members of parliament as nominated by the advisory committee, and two former members of parliament as nominated by the advisory committee, four sitting or former members of legislature, Council of Jammu and Kashmir, and four other individuals as may be nominated by the advisory committee. So the advisory committee, which we have formed in section 3, has a very big role. And this role doesn't end by just forming the committee. At every stage, the advisory committee will play a role. Then I've also discussed in this, the advisory committee shall take all measures as recommended by the Delimitation Commission to ensure enhanced political representation of Kashmiri Pandits across panchayats, union territory, legislative assembly, and parliament, which shall include but not be limited to ensuring political franchise and to further the right of legal political participation. And then I've also sought the government, in consultation with advisory committee, shall take all such measures as may be necessary to establish an environment of economic justice, prosperity, and security for the Kashmiri Pandits and other religious minorities to explore possibilities, opportunities of growth, stability upon their return. And then I'm talking of a corpus fund, land and other capital expenditure as may be necessary for such small or cottage industry, interest-free loan, direct and indirect taxes shall be waived for first 5 years. In order to enhance cases of doing business, a single widow facilitation, promote self-help groups. In addition to the scheme of programming of union territory and central government, the government, in consultation with advisory committee, shall take measures as being necessary to promote entrepreneurship. I've said a lot of things in this bill. In fact, there will be so much discussion when it happens that I'm wanting the moon for the Kashmiris, but I don't know how much after discussion will materialize. And that is why it also has a big financial implication. And despite that, the President of India has given her consent for its consideration. that means they have found this bill a, a good bill for consideration of the Parliament. Then in chapter 6, we are talking about protection of properties, where our properties have been encroached, where their distress sales have taken place. I've spoken of all that and how that is to be undone. Again, a very problematic area. There will be a lot of discussion on this because what has happened now is 30 years old, 35 years old, for 20 years old. How those transactions will be undone. All that is not easy to achieve. But I've all put it in the bill because it needs to be discussed. As I said, this bill itself is not an act. This is only like a draft, the first draft before the Parliament for discussion. Then in chapter 5, I have talked of restoration of temples and other heritage sites. I said for that, advisory committee shall constitute a committee comprising of historians, archaeologists, individuals from Bhatt Memorial Society and other representatives of Kashmiri Pandit community to identify all old temples and other heritage or spiritual sites, including ashrams, mutts, holy springs, endowments, schools, ghats, cremation grounds, hillocks, connected to the spiritual and cultural ethos of the Kashmiri Pandits. So I'm asking for restoration, preservation of all our sites. And then and for this, the committee which is constituted will also have the power of a civil court to summon witnesses, to require discovery and production of documents, requisitioning of public from any office record, issuing commissions for the examination of witnesses and documents. Like a lawyer, like a law that you make, I've gone into great details. Normally, people, when they bring private member bills, they bring very short bills. Those are very not very long bills with such lucid details. But I have gone into great details to put in the procedure also, which these committees which will follow if they are constituted and how they will work. Similarly, I've also spoken about inquiry commission. I said government. This is chapter 7. The government shall set up an inquiry commission within 1 month from the date of enactment of this act to investigate into genocide and mass exodus of Kashmiri Pandits from their homeland. 2. The inquiry commission shall have prosecutorial powers and the power to appoint judicial tribunal. 3. This judicial tribunal appointed under 2 shall have the authority to establish casual factors responsible for the genocide of Kashmiri Pandits and bring perpetrators to justice. The inquiry commission shall consist of the following: a retired Supreme Court Chief Justice or a judge, 2 retired judges of High Court of Jammu and Kashmir, 4 serving senior security officials from Union Territory, Police, Intelligence, Paramilitary, etc., 4 senior retired and officials from Union Territory, Police, Intelligence, and all that, a senior religious figure to be nominated by the advisory committee, 4 representatives of Kashmiri Pandit community as nominated by the advisory committee. So again, this commission is not going to be just a commission of judges. It's like a community commission also. And I'm wanting that there will be community participation with the judges to identify the perpetrators of genocide, the people who suffered, the causes responsible, and then they will give recommendations of how to take it forward. Because at the end of the day, any prosecution that happens in India has to be in accordance with law. You will then have to go to courts. There may be special courts for that later, or there may be special trials which Chief Justices of High Court can notify as special courts. So all that can happen later. But before that, this commission has to complete its work and give its recommendation of what needs to be done. And similarly, and I'm asking for in chapter 6 for the safety and security of Kashmiri Pandits. I said, in order to ensure safety and security of every Kashmiri Pandit in the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir, the government shall take the following measures. For 1, increasing the strength of the police force in the Union Territory and inducting 3,000 men and women security personnel belonging to the Kashmiri Pandit community and other religious minorities across pay grades. 2, setting up of a nodal Union Territory level Kashmiri Pandit Security Task Force comprising of such high-ranking security officers from the state police force, paramilitary and military as may be decided by the government in consultation with the Advisory Council within 3 months from the date of enactment of the Act. The task force set up under Clause 1 shall be given an executive and judicial powers to take necessary steps with an orientation of strengthening law and order and security situations concerning Kashmiri Pandits. Fourth, issuing arms license to at least one member of each family or domiciled Kashmiri Pandit family. Fifth, creation of a corpus fund to be known as Security Related Expenditure Fund of such amount to be decided by the task force set up under Clause 2. So there is, I've also tried my best to think about how to secure those people when they come back. They must have a force which should be there to protect them. There must be ground thinking all the time, how to keep them safe, maybe how to set up their their rehabilitation centers, or even the children who have to go to school. You will have to keep the schools in the area where they are going to reside, close to that. So a lot of detailing has to be done, but detailing cannot be done in an act. It's always done at an executive level. So we'll have these advisory committee, advisory council, commissions of inquiry. So I've made provisions for all this as a start. And then I've also spoken about in chapter 8 for rehabilitation and a resettlement package. I'm talking about a separate consolidated land area shall be identified within 3 months from the date of enactment of this act, and the land area shall be allocated to each family or domicile Kashmiri Pandits, either living or in camps or willing to resettle in such manner as may be prescribed. A lump sum amount as may be decided by the government in consultation with advisory committee shall be given to each family willing to resettle with or presently living in Jammu and Kashmir for construction of houses and other expenditure for resettlement. A cash relief of rupees 5,000 per person, subject to a ceiling of 25,000 rupees per family, be given every month to all Kashmiri Pandits in such manner as may be prescribed, which shall be subject to revision every 3 years. And then chapter 10 is about setting up of an advisory council. The government shall constitute a council to be known as Advisory Council of Kashmiri Pandits, consisting of the representatives having a distinguished track record of service in key Kashmiri Pandit community organizations, Pandits who have a strong track record of public service, and Kashmiri Pandits who individually had made and are capable of making impactful contribution towards rehabilitation of the community. The Advisory Council established will recommend suitable measures for rehabilitation of Kashmiri Pandits to the Advisory Committee under Section 3. So there's an Advisory Committee under Section 3, which is a larger body. There's an Advisory Council under Section 11. So one has tried to make it as workable as possible, involving the government, the forces, the intelligence, everyone involved, everybody who needs to be involved for resettling or settling the Kashmiri Pandit community. We have tried to involve them in this act. But as I said, what I have thought is a beginning. It is not the finale. This is a beginning for a discussion in Parliament. When the matter gets discussed, then suggestions come. And then there will be alterations, there will be amendments, there will be substitutions. But more important is that when sometimes the governments get impressed by a bill, they will then request me, Mr. Tankha, we are finding your bill very attractive, something which should come in the country for the Kashmiri Pandits. Give us 3 months opportunity to draft our own bill, and we will bring that bill. And with that assurance, sometimes we are asked to withdraw our bill and the government brings its bill. And these are all parliamentary procedures. Or if the government may want, it can put this bill forward itself, have a suitable substitution of amendments in this bill itself, and then have it passed. I said all options are open. And for this, I'm seeking cooperation of the whole House, both first in the Rajya Sabha, then I would be seeking, once it is passed by the Rajya Sabha, then in the Lok Sabha. So as I said, it's a tall order. I've taken upon myself a very, very ambitious program. Uh, I don't, I'm an individual at the end of the day. I'm not an institution. I'm trying my best that something emerges for to do justice to the Kashmiri Pandits at least after 35 years. But, when I travel, when I traveled to New Zealand in 2017 with the Speaker of Lok Sabha, Sumitra Mahajanji, we were a delegation of MPs. We had gone to New Zealand. In one of the places, I think Auckland or someplace, I don't remember, a group of Kashmiri Pandits met me and they said, Tankha Sahab, can you come and meet us in the evening? So I went to their house. There were about 40 people there. And all of them had only one request. Why isn't the government doing something for us? Why aren't you parliamentarians thinking about us? Why don't you do something for our return to our homeland? There is so much of yearning within us for our homeland. I said, you're right. I have just stepped into parliament. It's 1 year. Let me understand the parliamentary procedures a little more. I'll try to do something in the times to come. Yes, and I did. That is how the first bill was drafted. And for that, I especially thank Surinderji. Actually, Surinderji has been a great support for me as a friend because he was the one who benefited out of the Madhya Pradesh government action of inviting Kashmiri students to come and study in Madhya Pradesh in the 90s. And he studied in Bhopal Medical College. And as a lawyer, all these students and the students were from all communities, not only Pandits, they were also Muslims and other communities, or everybody who had to leave Kashmir at that time. And they would come for me for other issues, which I would get resolved either through court or through government. So we had a very constant interaction with all these people. So all I can say today is that I have embarked on a journey. This journey is a journey which is my passion, my dream. I can only make my best effort. At the end of the day, it is the Indian Parliament which has to take a call. The Indian political diaspora has to take a call. All parties will have to take a call. But my effort is with your support, because your support is the most important thing for me. My strength comes from your support. I'm your spokesperson. I'm the person because I happen to be the only Kashmiri Pandit in the entire parliament today, whether it be Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha. So there is nobody else who would speak your language about your pain, about your agony, about your feelings with the same passion which I would speak. In fact, from the day I entered the parliament, whenever I got an opportunity, in whichever debate, I would talk of the agony of the Kashmiri Pandits. I've spoken at least 6-7 times. So today, the whole parliament knows that this is an issue which Tankha Sahab keeps raising. They empathize with this issue. Lot of people walk up to me. The other day, Priyanka Chaturvedi came to me 3 days back in a party. He says, Vivek sir, I'm with you in this. Tell me how to take it forward. Karat Sahab, who's a member of parliament from Maharashtra, he walked up to me 2 days back in parliament. He says, Tankha sir, बताइए अपन इनके लिए और क्या कर सकते हैं. So I have a lot of supporting voices coming now. But as I said, even to get that support, I have to keep and we have to keep reaching out. हमको कभी इस चीज के लिए मांगने में शर्म नहीं आनी चाहिए. इसलिए मैं आई एम नॉट सेइंग कि मैं बेग करूंगा. आई एम नॉट बेगिंग, बट डेफिनेटली विद ऑल द ह्यूमिलिटी एट माय कमांड, आई एम रिक्वेस्टिंग देम. I said that please help us. This is a beleaguered community which needs your support, which needs your help. I have given you a draft. I am giving you an opportunity. Now take advantage of this opportunity and let us all think together and bring a law in the best possible manner, so that this community feels that justice is done, is to some extent, complete justice will never happen. You have suffered for 35 years, this sufferance has no replacement. This agony has no replacement. This pain has no replacement. But at the end of the day, we can't, because we have gone through so much of pain and agony, we can't say that we won't look for solutions. But because it is a solution which ends this agony also. So that is why I'm saying this is like a solution. We are all looking for solutions, and solutions at the end of the day bring peace, prosperity, amity, and this yearning of the Kashmiris to be part of their homeland. And I always say, देखिए जिस दिन से मैंने एक दिन पार्लियामेंट में बोला अमित शाह जी को कि साहब जिस दिन से कश्मीरी पंडित को आपने वैली से कंपेल करके बाहर भेजा, उस दिन से कश्मीर शांत नहीं है, कश्मीर अशांत है। और कश्मीर की शांति तभी वापस आएगी जिस दिन कश्मीरी पंडित कश्मीर में वापस आएगा। कश्मीर की शांति किसी वॉर से भी कंप्लीट नहीं होगी, किसी ऑपरेशन से भी कंप्लीट नहीं होगी। कश्मीर में शांति तभी आएगी जब पंडित कश्मीर का अंग फिर से बनेगा, कश्मीर का पार्ट बनेगा। And this is a huge responsibility upon all of us. And it is upon the nation also. So this is a task, a gigantic task, which we all have to do together. And I, as your small beacon in the parliament, I will keep pushing it, keep trying. And I normally feel that God also helps those who help themselves. भगवान भी उन्हीं की इच्छा पूरी करता है जो उस इच्छा के लिए आगे बढ़ते हैं। हम लोग उस भगवान के सामने प्रार्थना करके आगे बढ़ेंगे। और अभी तो हमको शारदा पीठ की रविंद्र पंडिता जी यहाँ हैं, उनकी रोड भी बनवानी है, और जिसके लिए मैंने शिवराज जी से बात भी की है, और हम लोग शिवराज जी से मिलकर आपकी रोड भी बनवाएंगे। और बहुत सारे ऐसे छोटे काम कराते रहेंगे जिससे एक फीलिंग आए कि कश्मीरी पंडित्स exist, they live in Kashmir, they breathe in Kashmir, and prosperity of Kashmir depends upon the return of Kashmiri Pandits. Thank you. Anything else you want me to say?
Okay. Thank you so much, Vivek ji. We're listening to every word, every line. It was full of energy and the brilliance that you showcased and your team in drafting all these whole ideas into a wonderful draft. And we could see that you said that you're not an institution. We consider you as an institution. You yourself an accomplished, a judicial eagle, and so much of experience, and in the parliament. Yes, you have raised the voice of our community in the parliament the day you entered the parliament. We are also immensely thankful to Government of India, BJP. I think getting the presidential consent is also, I think, it sends a very strong signal to our community, and we are hopeful that they will continue. And this should not be seen as a party-oriented thing, but as parliamentarians, the government, everybody coming together to undo the injustice that our community has faced. And with that, I will just keep my words simple. But since this is being relayed in the radio stations all over US, I have been asked that I make a brief announcement that my name is Surinder Kaul. I'm based in Houston, and you are listening to a session on Kashmir Bill with Honorable Mr. Vivek Tankha, Member Parliament and Senior Advocate, Supreme Court, organized by Global Kashmiri Pandit Diaspora. So on this note, let me open the platform, and I would request Ravinder Pandita ji, who is the president of All India Kashmiri Samaj, which is an apex organization of our community. And Ravinder ji, you know, has personally shown the path of, he's a temple man, he's a Sharda man. So Ravinder Pandita ji, floor is yours. Please keep brief. I request everyone just to keep brief, not to repeat yourself, but whatever you have to communicate, please do. Ravindra Panditaji. Shafalika ji, please make sure that you unmute.
Ravindraji, you are unmuted. Please join. I think he might be having issues with his audio. Should we bring in someone before him?
Yes. So let us bring in Kashmiri Pandit Sabha Faridabad. I know Professor Sopori Sahab was supposed to be joining, but he had something. He had told me that he's not sure, but he will try to make it. But we have Vice President of Kashmiri Pandit Sabha Faridabad, Kashi Akunji, and he happens to be the coordinator of Global Kashmiri Pandit Diaspora as well. So Kashi Nakun Sahab, floor is yours, Kashi ji.
थैंक यू वेरी मच सुरेंद्र जी, बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद तनखा साहब, कश्मीरी सेवक समाज फरीदाबाद की ओर से। और कश्मीर में जितने भी कश्मीरी रहते हैं, एटलीस्ट 15-16 हजार लोग यहाँ पर रह रहे हैं कश्मीरी फरीदाबाद में। तो हम सब की ओर से आपको बहुत बहुत अभिनंदन, आपका हम ग्रेटिट्यूड पे करते हैं। जिस तरह से आपने हमारी समस्याओं का समाधान करने के लिए ये प्राइवेट मेंबर बिल पार्लियामेंट में लाई है, हम आपका दिल से शुक्रिया करते हैं। और हम कोशिश करेंगे, हम सारे लोग मिलकर कश्मीरी सेवक समाज फरीदाबाद और जितने भी हमारी कश्मीरी एसोसिएशन है थ्रू इंडिया, भारत के विभिन्न प्रांतों में, हम उन सभी अनुरोध करेंगे कि वो अपने अपनी जगह पर जो पार्लियामेंट मेंबर्स वहां पर हैं उनके साथ संपर्क करें, उनके साथ बातचीत करके अपने उनका सहयोग ले लें इस बिल को पार्लियामेंट में पास करने के लिए। मैं कश्मीरी सेवक समाज फरीदाबाद की ओर से और ग्लोबल कश्मीरी पंडित डायस्पोरा की ओर से आप सब लोगों का तहे दिल शुक्रिया करता हूं। और ग्लोबल कश्मीरी पंडित डायस्पोरा ने जिस तरह से इस बिल के सहयोग के लिए जितना काम किया है, मैं उनका भी हार्दिक अभिनंदन करता हूं। तनखा साहब ने जो बिल लाई है, हम सब लोग इससे बहुत खुश हैं। और जिस तरह से प्रेसिडेंट ऑफ इंडिया ने अपना एसेंट इसको देते हैं, हमें उम्मीद है कि इस बिल को स्वीकृति मिलेगी राज्यसभा में भी और लोकसभा में भी, और ये बिल पारित होगा। क्योंकि ये हमारा दर्द का मामला है, ये हमारे विस्थापन का मामला है, ये हमारे जेनोसाइड का मामला है। 35 साल से जिस राह को हम देख रहे थे, उस राह में हमें एक रोशनी आपके ओर से आज मिली है। तो इसके लिए मैं आपको हार्दिक धन्यवाद देना चाहता हूँ। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। थैंक यू वेरी मच।
Thank you, Kashi ji. Let us try Ravindra Pandita ji one more time.
Namaskar ji, am I audible now?
Yes, yes, you are audible.
Namaskar ji, thank you very much, Vivek ji, and everyone out here. We have been trying, and this is a very good attempt that all of us are together. I know, Vivek ji, there will be a lot of difficulties in this because it will be actually tagged as a party bill done by Congress, and I have been listening to a lot of people around, particularly from BJP side, for the last 2-3 days. But we have to be very together and very specific that it's not on party lines. It's a bill that concerns everyone, to the ruling dispensation, to the treasury bench, to the opposition bench, and you are the only parliamentarian from Kashmiri Pandit origin, and we have a lot of hopes from you. Yes, definitely you have also helped in the past. I know you have raised our Sharda issue also at least 4 times in the parliament, and I think there was nothing wrong from anyone about that particular issue, and there should not be anything wrong right now also on this bill which we will be presenting. And we are quite lucky. I know it is a very uphill task. You said only alternate Fridays are allowed, and then it should be taken up because it's not reached. It's at number 5. So let's have a divine intervention. Let's pray to Ma Sharda. There's a divine intervention always. And I hope you will be there on 31st of August. And we pray together to Ma Sharda that this bill goes through as soon as possible. Jai Ho, Jai Sharda.
Thank you, Ravindra ji. Shafalika ji, just keep me unmuted because I can work fast. Now I'll be calling Dilip Matuji, President Jammu Kashmir Vichar Manch. After that, Khosa Saab from Jammu. But Dilip, Jammu Kashmir Vichar Manch has been playing excellent job in heritage and culture of our community by preserving the culture, heritage, and has played a very important role. Dilipji, floor is yours.
Namaskar. First of all, I will like to have the heartiest congratulations for Vivek Tankha ji for taking up this issue and bringing it into the parliament. I think we have been waiting for 35 years, somebody to speak and raise our voice somewhere. This is absolutely applauded. We can't be, we can't have any words to thank you because Kashmiri Pandits in these 35 years have just lost the voice. And I pray to God that you become that voice and make it audible to the parliamentarians, to the administrators, and wish all the success to you because you have raised all the pertinent points which attract the attention of the community, which are needed by the community, and which we have been talking about in resolution after resolution. We have always tried to attract the attention from the government, from the administration, and we have been talking about the resettlement, we have been talking about the genocide, we have been talking about the temples bill also. But always we have fallen into the deaf ears. I pray to God that the effort which you are making, God bless you. We hope that we get through with this effort and we are able to get it on the table of the parliament and see it going through successfully. All the success to you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dilipji, for keeping it brief. Now I request KK Khosa Saab, President Kashmiri Pandit Sabha Jammu. It's a very important because once we became victims of genocide and ethnic cleansing, our first station was Jammu. And a lot of work went, and KP Sabha Jammu has played a very historic role. So President Khosa Saab, floor is yours. So Ashwini ji, KPM Mumbai, be ready next. So can you unmute?
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Am I on?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Surinder. Thank you, Surinder ji, for the kind words which you just now spoken. And at the outset, it is my privilege to thank profusely Vivek Tankha ji, who has shown his perseverance in spite of the fact that this bill he introduced in 2022 and got lapsed due to the circumstances. And this time again, he pushed it and he managed to get the approval of the Honorable President of India. मैं ये समझता हूँ कि प्रेसिडेंट की असेंट जो आई है उसमें डेफिनेटली कहीं ना कहीं हमारी जो एनडीए की सरकार है, गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया है, उसमें कहीं ना कहीं बात हुई होगी और क्योंकि इतना इसमें खर्चा आएगा, फाइनेंसेस इन्वॉल्व होंगे, उसके बावजूद भी the Honorable President has been kind to give her assent for the bill to be tabled. So the thanks are due to Mr. Vivek Tankha, Honorable President, Honorable Prime Minister and Home Minister, and of course the GKPD, because from what I gather, and I know because I also was there when we submitted the memorandum on almost similar lines to the then LG of J&K, Mr. Malik. पर आपने ये बिल लाया, हमने सबसे पहले उस पर रिएक्ट किया. We went to the media, to the press, and supported this bill because it has never happened till now that something about the Kashmiri Pandits will be discussed, which is comprehensive in nature. All aspects have been included, taken care of. Of course, there might be some things which can be added later on, But at this point in time, we are all supposed to lend our support and try and mobilize whatever, in whichever manner we can mobilize all those people who could play a role in getting this passed. आपने सब कुछ बोल दिया तनखा साहब, तो आई डोंट नीड टू से मच बिकॉज जो हमने प्रेस में रिएक्ट किया था, आपने वो सब चीजें इसमें बोल दी हैं। सुरेंद्र जी को उसके बारे में मालूम। नाउ इज द टाइम व्हेन वी मस्ट थिंक इन टर्म्स ऑफ अ कोहेसिव एक्शन ऑन द पार्ट ऑफ द कम्युनिटी। अभी तक बहुत सारी आवाजें चलती रही। We could not arrive at any consensus about the return and rehabilitation, which is the crux of the bill. आपने mention किया है the intent and purpose of the bill, and that is what it is. We are all clamoring for return and rehabilitation. So how do we achieve it? This is the time we must all collectively put in our whatever means we have at our command. And since you are the only person of the Kashmiri Pandit uh, descent who is in the parliament, which I already said, हमने बड़ी कोशिश की थी कि यहाँ से कोई ऐसी वॉइसेस उठें जो पार्लियामेंट में इस किस्म का कुछ हमारे बारे में कहें, लेकिन you know that in politics, unless you are yourself there, nobody is going to speak for you. अभी हम, I'll give you an example about the assembly, Union Territory Assembly here. 2 sessions have already gone. None of the political parties has raised the issue about the return and rehabilitation of Kashmiri Pandits, although they know that the entire community, the diaspora, has been clamoring for having a policy for return and rehabilitation. अब मैं समझता हूँ कि ये बिल आपने जो लाया है, I don't think anybody will be having the temerity to brush it aside. They will either ask you to, they will either say, as you rightly pointed out, that the government will bring this bill, as was done years back by the state government here about the temples and shrines bill. The private members' temples and
Kosa
shrines
sahab,
bill
Kosa sahab,
was,
Kosa sahab, I
was
have
this
humble.
is the last point. This is the last point. That's all.
Okay, yeah.
That time it was mentioned, and then the government said, Azad Saab said, I'll get a temples and shrines bill, which they could not, unfortunately, get. But I think something similar can happen. I won't take more time because already I have taken 5 minutes perhaps. Thank you very much. Once again, Tankha Saab, whenever you require any kind of input, we are there to give. Namaskar.
Thanks, Kosa sahab. You know, we have KPM Mumbai. It is a shining star of our community. The way the organization helped in maintaining heritage, culture, helping all the needy people within the community. So we have President of KPM Mumbai, Ashwini Bhatt Sahab. Floor is yours, Ashwini ji.
Thank you so much, Surinder ji, for the kind words. I'm really so fan of you. Thanks a lot. Thank you so much, Vivek ji. I'm really speechless. I can't tell you from the core of my heart. I thank you so much for all what you have done for the people of Kashmir and you are doing. Your concern is commendable, let me tell you. And you can't imagine, you have yourself said that for last 35 years, people have been always raising a question that why government is not doing anything or why there is no one who can at least raise our voice, in the parliament, in the Rajya Sabha, in the Lok Sabha. And I think you are the one among us all. You are our leader. Sir, we pray for you. We wish you all the best. And on behalf of KPM Mumbai and myself, you please let us know what help, what support you need. Let it be monetary, let it be personal, let it be any kind of support. We are there with you always. And will be neck to neck with you, sir. Take my assurance on behalf of KTA Mumbai and myself in person. Well, I will not take much time because Surendraji is already after all the people. I will only say a few words. The GKPD is doing a fantastic job, and let me tell you, they during last 35 years we were really in asylum, and one thing which really put us back on the track or on the limelight was the Kashmir Files movie, which is again because of Surendraji and the GKPD, which came to the people of the whole India and the world. And now today it is you, and we are quite optimistic about it. Vivek ji will be through and will be successful in this mission. All the best to you. Thank you so much, and I'm really grateful to you.
Thank
Thanks,
you,
everyone.
Ashwini ji. Thank you, Ashwini ji. Thanks for your kind words. Gurgaon has been again, when our people came from Kashmir, all these organizations, we didn't had any help. All these organizations guided us, helped us, protected us. There are some other organizations who may not be here, but these are the primary mainstream organizations. And one of them is KKS Gurgaon. So we have a president of KKS Gurgaon, Dr. Anil Vaishnavi Sahab. He is my junior colleague. He's now very senior. But everyone, they created a temple, created a replica, same about Faridabad. Dr. Sahab, floor is yours.
Good evening, everybody. Thanks, Surinder ji. You have always guided me when I was in the medical college also. And thanks for same. And first of all, I want to thank Vivek Tankha ji that he's the only one parliamentarian who has been raising our issues since last few years, which I have been noticing. In all these years, nobody has been raising Kashmiri Pandit issue at large. And after hearing Tankhaji today about the bill, it has been very comprehensive, well drafted, and it is, I know this is initial phase. It will go a lot of discussions, whether it will be accepted or not, whether the government takes it or not. But it is a well thought bill, well thought bill. The only point I have for the chapter 2, where who all should be the beneficiaries of this. Here I have a difference, even if you don't agree to me, but I have a difference out here. I see that there have been 7 exodus of Kashmiri Pandits since now, since 13th century. And so many Kashmiri Pandits who have left from 13th century till now, most of them have lost their roots. I will suggest out here for the broader picture of Kashmir that we should include all Hindus who want to settle down in Kashmir should be given all those benefits. Like in army, those who get posted in J&K get all the benefits of harsh posting. So out here, it should not be limited to only 3-4 lakhs of Kashmiri Pandits. I will suggest that we should include a greater part, thinking those who have left from 13th century till now, they should be also included. One second aspect we should remember that why we left 1990. We left 1990 because of the security reasons. Because our number was less and we have not been fighting. We are educated people who try to be very nationalistic. Don't take guns in our hands. Our weapon is a pen. So I will suggest on that aspect, we have to think about including all Hindus who will like to, because there is an abrogation of Article 370. So all Hindus who will like to come to Kashmir, settle down there, even if they may not be the first citizens, but they should be all given those benefits of that bill. If it is accepted, it will take, it's a long battle. I know it's not going to be easy. It's going to be a long battle. And last but not least, Vivek ji, I know you have been raising our issue because you have been a Kashmiri Pandit, but I will request you, sir, that Rahul Gandhi is also a Kashmiri Pandit. if we go, and as he has said, we should.
I'm sorry to interrupt here.
Hmm.
Let's try to
Okay,
stick to the bill.
see,
Let's not bring
Surendra ji,
other
okay.
things. Couple of things. Yeah, you just conclude and I will answer your question.
I will just conclude. I will say in the end that so far I am once again from the bottom of my heart I am very thankful to Vivek Tankha ji for this, because so far I have seen from 1990, because I have been very much involved in 1990 also in the getting migration of medical students as well as degree students, as a student friend general secretary at that time. I see since 1990 till date, all political parties, whether it is Congress or whether it is BJP, they have exploited the Kashmiri Pandit issue, and nobody has come forward and raised our issue except for you. And salute to you, sir. I will say that's all. Jai Hind.
Thanks, Dr. Saab, Anil Vaishnavi Sahab. Just briefly, I know I'll leave it to. Okay, sorry. I'm audible, right, Shafalika ji?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So, we need to realize that this is a private member bill. And Vivek ji is a Kashmiri Pandit and a parliamentarian. He's not the government. I know the private member bill has its own limitations. All that you have touched are part of the executive body. So let us leave it. I know I leave it towards the end what Vivek ji might have to speak, because we have so many speakers waiting. Now, at this note, I would like to invite a very experienced and very involved community member who is the president of Kashmiri Hindu Sabha Hyderabad, IK Pandit ji. Floor is yours. After that, Matu Sahab, please be ready.
Please unmute yourself, Mr. Pandit.
Okay, while he's trying to unmute, I would now request Matu Sahab, RK Matu Sahab, who is based in Bangalore.
I have unmuted myself, Surendra ji.
Okay, thank you. Go ahead.
First of all, thank you, Surendra ji. I think from the bottom of my heart and the community, I am in Hyderabad currently based. We all thank Vivek ji for an excellent work and this piece of masterwork to be presented in the parliament as and when it is placed. I always believe that small thing, although it's a big thing, do not shape up 100% in the first phase, but I think well begun is half done. So Vivek ji, from the bottom of our heart, we thank you for bringing up this issue in the parliament, and I am sure with the blessings of all of us, and all our support is with you in whatever way. Many people have spoken, financial, you want us to be there in Delhi, anything, we are all available with you. You are the face of Kashmiri Pandit now. And we once again, thank you for all the work you are doing for us. Thank you. Namaskar.
Thank you, IK Pandit Saab. And we are also thankful to you for doing a lot of service to the seva to the community. All right, Matu Saab, President KHCWT Bangalore, he's an experienced person, a very, very involved activist. We take inspiration from him. The way he has built the cultural center in Bangalore, the way he has put our symbols of genocide and some martyrs there. Hats off to you, Matu Saab. Floor is yours.
Thank you, Surendra ji. Am I audible?
Yes, perfect.
Okay. Thank you very much, Surendra ji, for your leadership. One. Second thing, I am really very happy to hear Tankha Sahab. He being a Kashmiri victim himself, Kashmiri Pandit himself, and also the parliamentarian, and also has a passion to take up issues of Kashmiri plight of the Kashmiri Pandits. I tell you, with his knowledge of law, and a decorated, a very senior lawyer. I think the way he spoke about the bill, I was really moved. He has not left anything undone, and it is our duty now, the duty of the community, to support him all over and everywhere. As he rightly said, he has not boasted about anything that this will be get passed and all that. He has been very, 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 very moderate, very, very nice person to tell us that this is an initiation. I have ignited it. I need the support of every parliamentarian. I tell you, this is something great, Tankha Sahab. We are very grateful to you. After 35 years, somebody has taken up our cause. And as you rightly said, once the bill is discussed, so many amendments will come, so many things will come. All those things which have been left out may get added. All those things which you have said, you have covered almost everything. There's nothing to be done here and there. But everybody, each and every Kashmiri Pandit wants to go back honorably. This is what you have said with this thing. I tell you, now you should have given, in your concluding remarks, I would like you to give some advice to the community also to come together and support this bill. This bill is not your bill. This bill is for the community, a blackguard community, a suffering community for the last 35 years. So we are fortunate you are there in the parliament, and your PR with all the senior members of the parliament, a parliamentarians yourself. I'm sure that you will see to it that this bill is taken up, because nobody is against us. Everybody wants to do it, but you have initiated it. We are very grateful to you. And a piece of advice to the community I would like you to say at the end of the day: thank you very much. We are always with you and we support you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Matusa, for your wonderful message. I know we have Ajay Bharati ji waiting. We have Ashwini Changu ji waiting. I'm sorry, my apologies. I know, but I would like to bring in here Engineer Rohit Rana, General Secretary, MEAK. These are the PM package employees working in Kashmir. But before I get him, I always have a lot of respect for all these employees and for what you are doing. They are keeping our symbols of civilization alive, whether it is puja in the temples, our culture, and despite their challenges, so many challenges, they are making us proud. And in fact, I have set it on record that whatever we are doing, if our heart beats, it beats for them. If our heart beats, it beats for the non-displaced Kashmiri Pandit community from Kashmir. So, Rohit Rana ji, floor is yours.
Sarvatra Namaskar from Kashmir. We are very much fortunate that we have Vivek ji with us. And we are very much fortunate that he's the only MP among the Kashmiri Pandits who has raised our issue, and only MP who has raised our issue in the parliament. I have seen this bill, and I have seen this bill in the length and breadth. So before quoting on that, I just want to convey from here that we are the live examples. If Kashmiri Pandits come back to Kashmir and there is no policy or very less policy in the government, so we are the live examples. Since we have been here since last 15 years, so I was fortunate to come here 8 years back, but there has been employees who has been here since last 15 years. So as I am saying that we are the live examples who have seen if we don't have the minority rights here in Kashmir. So like Surender ji well said, how do we suffer here in Kashmir? It's obvious because we know the environment, the people, the thing. We have seen in last 15 years the discrimination not only in the people but in our CSR policy rules. When the rules best fits in the local government, it is rule for us, and when it doesn't best fit for employees, so the rights are not given that time. We have seen lot of discriminations in our services, overload works, and humiliation on workstations. We have seen postings in far-flung areas when we have residents at one place and postings at very far places. and we have to travel 50-60 kilometers in the turmoil period. We have seen the social problems here, like family separations, the father marriage in Jammu, and we are here. We have seen social like discrimination from the society, like when we are coming here. Kashir Poitwan, Ashun Khandar Tibana Patwarian. So we have seen the disturbed psyche of our children when they are concised to between the boundary walls and security persons lying outside, and always when you have to go out, you have to see like checking and checking out all the time. Despite all these, you can say, hurdles, these situations, this toughness, we, the package employees, not only package employees, but I will say the minority employees, have tried our best to revive our culture in Kashmir. You can see the havans going on, the pujas going on, and everywhere yatras going on. We have tried our best to reclaim it. We have tried our best to revive our culture here. Despite things that these are all the small issues, we faced life threats. That is a daily routine thing here. If we'll see, we have seen the target killings 2-3 years back, and it's continuously going on. Not only the target killings, we have seen the convergence that is more than the target killings. So I have seen, and still, when we are living in Kashmir, we are still being called migrants. That is a big, you can say, it's a big pain to us when we are being called migrants at our own homeland. This is what this is how. That's why I said that this is the best example when we say, when you come without any policy, without any like the guidelines, and without any way out when you come to Kashmir, and this is how you feel it. But since this is the Kashmiri blood gene, and we are the, you can say, the best survival at every situation. We have come up, we have tried to connect to administration, we have tried to connect to the LG government, the new government coming in, and we have tried to. There was a very big gap between the government and the people here. We have to try to connect people. We have tried to restore temples. There are a lot of things we tried, but keeping all things like in open dice. I'll say this best is the best. I can say that if this gets implemented here in Kashmir, we can live with the dignity. I am very much thankful to Vivek ji, from the bottom of our heart, from all the employees, from all the minority people living here, whether the employees or non-displaced people, because I am seeing the pain, and I'm seeing pain of the non-displaced people here. So I guess this should, I pray to Mahadev, may Mahadev finalize this bill as soon as possible. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Rohitji. These words coming from you from Kashmir means a lot. I don't know.
Surendra, you're unmuted.
No, yeah, I get. So, Rohitji, thank you so much for your kind words. And coming from you, from Kashmir, means a lot. And thanks for being here. I would like to get Neerja ji next for her comments. I know it's all male-dominated group. So just for a change, Neerja ji, I would like to get you. She is our force behind GKPD, keeps everyone online, and very much involved. Neerja ji, I know you don't want to hear much about yourself. Go ahead and speak.
Well, a lot has been said, but I was terribly moved by Rohitji's comments, and certainly we have to support our folks, our brethren in Kashmir. But coming to the bill part, obviously, Vivekji, my hand folded, namaskar, pranam, and regards to you for your perseverance. You haven't given up at any point of time. Last time I met you in New York at the screening of your documentary, which is a must-watch for all of us, The Renaissance Man, wherein I saw your passion for social work. And it kind of reiterated my faith in you. Not that I didn't have faith in you, but we had met virtually. But this was my first personal interaction with you, though it was brief. And I think the only two things I mentioned were about your line of work and this bill. And you promised that you're going to follow it up, and you're going to see that it sees the light of the day. And the passion, the intent, the genuine concern with which you explained various points of the bill, um, it's a hope for us, for each and every community member. And certainly everybody is rallying behind you. May the forces be with you. May Mahadev bless you. And may this bill see the light of the day. And may we have a resettlement, whatever, I mean, however we have planned this, which is so elaborate. And I think a lot has been said already. I don't want to take enough time, but my thanks, my regards and respects to you, and best wishes.
Thank you, Neeta ji. On the same note, let me invite Dr. Shafalika Pan Kotwal, who is always bothering with keeping the lines open. So always he is the UK coordinator of GKPD. So Shafalika ji, floor is yours.
Thank you, Surinderji. I won't take long because everything has been said. But I would really like to thank Vivek ji. Vivek ji, you have done a tremendous job. I have read the bill a few times now because it's so comprehensive, and it should really go into the annals of Kashmiri Pandit history as an iconic bill. That's all I have to say. The other thing is, the bill, it tells us, it starts from who we are to what we want and where we are going. It's that comprehensive, and that was extremely emotional for me, the way you ended the bill, the last few paragraphs. So thank you a lot for Vivek ji and everyone here. We hope everyone is going to support the bill going forward. And now one other thing is, I mean, for decades, in 36 years, we have always been quite upset that in the in the temple of democracy, that are our houses of parliament in India, the hallowed houses of parliament, the word Kashmiri Pandit never got a mention. And thanks to you, now this has changed. It's a red letter day for us. Whatever happens, like Bhagavad Gita says, we do the efforts and don't worry about the fruits, and the fruits will come. But thank you for your efforts. Thank you all.
Thank you, Shafalika ji. I know my apologies again to Ajay Bharti ji and Ashwini Chambu ji. I'm keeping you towards the end so that soon after your part, Vivek ji will come in. So we have two members here who are from one camp. One is Jagati, one is Nagrota. So these are the people, again, for whom our heart beats globally. And despite that, they are all very much active there and trying to contribute immensely towards the community. So first, I would like to invite Bhatt Saab, ML Bhatt Saab. He lives in Nagrota camp, but he has an organization, NGO called Helpline Humanity. Through Helpline Humanity, they serve the children of the Jagati camp and adjoining area. They have been expanding in the last few years. They are trying to arrange tuitions for them, IS training. So there are a lot of things. So Bhatt Saab, floor is yours.
नमस्कार मारा सबसे पहले मैं धन्यवाद करना चाहता हूँ विवेक तंखा जी को, जिन्होंने अपनी बिल, ये जो बिल हर एक जम्मू के जितने भी हम विस्थापित लोग हैं, जब से हमने ये बिल देखी तो हमें एक रोशनी की किरण नजर आ गई कि इस बिल के साथ अभी तक जितने भी पार्लियामेंट में जो सेशन हुए अभी तक हमारी बात नहीं हो पाई। तो आज जो हमें लग रहा है कि हमें होप है अपने रूट्स को कनेक्टेड करने के लिए। बाकी इंजीनियर रोहित जी ने बताया कि किन समस्या है वहां पे कश्मीर में, और जम्मू में भी बहुत सारी समस्या है। उन समस्याओं को समाधान करने के लिए ये बहुत अच्छी सी बिल जो हमारे विवेक जी ने लाई है यहाँ पे, तो इसके वजह से मैं दिल की गहराई से और अपनी पूरे कम्युनिटी की तरफ से उनको धन्यवाद देना चाहता हूँ कि उन्होंने ये, और महादेव से यही प्रार्थना करता हूँ कि ये बिल जो है ये अब ये हमारी ड्यूटी है हर एक एमएलए के एमपी के पास जाना, ताकि ये बिल जो गवर्नमेंट के पास है, जो उनको ये पास करवाना है। धन्यवाद। जय हिंद, जय भारत।
Thank you, WhatsApp. Thank you so much. And now we have Sanjay Darsa from Jagati camp. Sanjay ji, I have seen him on virtual his political involvement. So let us hear him out. Sanjay ji, floor is yours.
सबसे पहले मैं आई एम वेरी थैंकफुल टू यू कि आपने मुझे इस एक ये जो प्लेटफॉर्म है इस पे मौका दिया बोलने का। आई एम वेरी थैंकफुल टू यू। एंड मुझे ये दो तीन बातें कहनी है कि इस प्लेटफॉर्म से कि सबसे पहले मैं विवेक तनखा जी को बधाई देता हूं कि एटलीस्ट किसी हमारे लीडर ने, चाहे वो किसी भी पार्टी से बिलोंग करता हो, कि उन्होंने एक इनिशिएटिव लिया है और इस बिल को वो टेबल कर रहे हैं राज्यसभा में। तो मैं उनका बहुत ही तहे दिल से अपनी कम्युनिटी की ओर से बहुत धन्यवाद देता हूं। और साथ में आई हैव डिस्कस्ड विद आजाद साहब आल्सो, उन्होंने भी मुझे ये कहा, परसों मैंने उनसे डिस्कस किया कि उन्होंने ये भी बोला कि ये 2002 की बिल है। ये उस टाइम वो आजाद साहब राज्यसभा में, ये सॉरी वो अपोजिशन लीडर थे, तो उन्होंने बोला किसी कारण की वजह से गवर्नमेंट चेंज हो गई जिसके बाद ये टेबल पे बिल नहीं आई, अदरवाइज ये 2002 में ही बिल राज्यसभा में टेबल हुई होती। अब मुझे यही कहना है सर कि देखिए सर, आई एम बिलोंगिंग फ्रॉम कैंप फ्रॉम 36 ईयर्स। हमने देखा है कि ये 36 साल से हमारे साथ क्या प्रॉब्लम्स हुई, ये हम जानते हैं। जो सफर्स है रियल, जो कैंपस में रहते हैं, जो नॉन कैंपस में रहते हैं, ये जानते हैं कि हमारे साथ क्या हुआ, किस तरीके से ये 36 साल हमने निकाले। लेकिन हमारी एक ही रिक्वेस्ट है तनखा साहब से, जब भी वो टेबल ये बिल होगा तो हमारी एक ही रिक्वेस्ट है कि हमारा ये जो बिल है, इसमें हम आपसे भी रिक्वेस्ट कर रहे हैं, ये जो बिल है ये अगर ये पास होता है, इट विल टेक टाइम, जब से अकॉर्डिंग टू विवेक जी कि इसमें राज्यसभा में भी पास होना है, फिर लोकसभा में जाएगी। लेकिन हमारी एक ही रिक्वेस्ट है सर, ये ऐसा इस तरीके से ये पास होनी चाहिए कि कश्मीरी विस्थापित लोगों को, जो विस्थापित लोग हैं, उनको अगर हम कश्मीर वापस भेजेंगे, अगर ये पास बिल होगा, लेकिन वो बिल इस तरीके से पास होना कि कश्मीरी विस्थापित लोगों को वहां से वापस ना आए, फिर से दोबारा से रिहैबिलिटेशन ना हो जाए, इसलिए उसका भी ध्यान रखना चाहिए। क्योंकि कश्मीरी पंडित 36 साल से वेट कर रहा है कि हमारी जो विस्थापन है इसको कब खत्म किया जाए, क्योंकि 36 साल, इधर राम जी ने भी 14 वर्ष वनवास लिया है, हम तो 36 साल से वनवास काट रहे हैं। इसलिए एक उम्मीद की किरण है। वी आर सपोर्टिंग दिस बिल, क्योंकि मेरे आजाद साहब ने भी बोला कि आप इस बिल को सपोर्ट कीजिए। तो इसलिए मुझे लग रहा है जिस तरीके से उन्होंने इस बिल को एलैबोरेट किया, तो मुझे लग रहा है कि ये बिल जो है इसको सभी विस्थापित लोगों को जो इसको अपोज भी कर रहे हैं उनको भी सोचना चाहिए कि इस बिल को हमें, क्योंकि विवेक जी ने इसको एलैबोरेट किया, वो भी देख रहे होंगे, उनको भी इसको सपोर्ट करना चाहिए। और इसके साथ में लास्ट में मैं आपसे यही कहना चाहता हूं, मैं जीकेपीडी का बहुत ही धन्यवाद व्यक्त करता हूं। और साथ में एक ही रिक्वेस्ट है सर, अगर आप इस इनिशिएटिव को आगे ले रहे हैं तो एटलीस्ट ईच कैंप से वन रिप्रेजेंटेटिव सभी कैंप से होना चाहिए। ये दिस इज माय पर्सनल रिक्वेस्ट। धन्यवाद।
जरूर, थैंक यू संजय जी। या होना चाहिए कैंप रिप्रेजेंटेशन। हाँ, वी विल डेफिनेटली वी वर्क विद कैंप के साथ हमारा इंटरेक्शन होता है। वी विल ट्राई टू एक्सपैंड आवर इंटरेक्शंस। जो भी कैंप है, नगरोटा कैंप है, उसमें हमको आपकी मदद भी चाहिए पड़ेगी संजय जी, ठीक है?
थैंक यू सर, थैंक यू सो मच।
Okay, now we will get Ajay Bharti ji and Ashwini Chungu Sahab. First, I will go with Ajay Bharti ji, former MLC of erstwhile state of Jammu and Kashmir. He has been extremely involved in community interest things, making it reach within the. I know I'm not talking about his. But I'm talking about his political this thing, but he's not here right now. He's as a respected community member, but his contributions have been enormous. He's a very good writer. He's very writes frequently in the media as columns, and has very much coordinated with the community, safeguarding the community interests of both in the valley and outside valley. Ajay, we feel honored to have you. Floor is yours.
Thank you, Surendraji, and thank you, GKPD, for organizing the event. I also appreciate and thank Vivek Tankha ji for this bill. I will like not to repeat anything because a lot of things have been talked about the bill. Being a former legislator, I know it is very difficult because as far as my information, it was in 1970 that last time a private member bill was passed. But this bill has generated a lot of hope within the community. So for that, I believe, and we almost all of us believe that the expulsion of the community from Kashmir was not an overnight act. It was a process. So in that sense, the reversal of the reversal of the displacement will be also a process. And in that process, this bill will be a milestone. There is no doubt about that. Whether it passes or not is immaterial. It has already created a sort of history and a sort of hope that will ensure that the community hinges onto that for a long time. So that is one. Meanwhile, second point, where I am talking in certain points only because of the time constraint, and I know that we will like to hear Vivekji again after some time. Second thing is the onslaught, which started earlier, is still going on. I will just red flag one, I think. There is an effort in the UT legislature of Jammu and Kashmir that our encroachments will be regularized the way our posts were taken away from us by a so-called elected government. So there is an effort by a subordinate House Committee on Subordinate Ordinances. They have already moved some amendments. They are recommending to the assembly that the encroachers who have purchased it willfully or wrongly, rightly, that those encroachments must be regularized. So the onslaught is still on. That is one. Second point, which I would definitely like to add here and would like to underline, is that we must not ignore the people who have contributed to our who have raised our issues at different levels, even in Parliament also. I remember just one name for the sake of this debate. That is Sushil Modi ji. In 2022 itself, Sushil Modi ji raised very passionately our issue of representation in the Rajya Sabha. I think Vivek Tankha ji must be remembering that also. So we must also thank, because we need their support. If we do not appreciate the support provided by others, how will they come forward and support us again? So that is another. The third point is that Vivekji alone cannot reach out to all parties. So GKPD and the community has a role. I leave it for Vivek Tankha ji to tell us how we can be helpful. There, another point which I would like to make again briefly, just in point wise statement because of the time constraint, is that someone mentioned that it is being termed as Congress bill. No, particularly in BJP, no one is terming it as a bill. It is a community effort. We appreciate it as community effort, and in that sense, the identification of Vivek Tankha ji with the community is really and highly appreciable. So it is still a private members bill, it is community effort, and we need to reach out to every party in that sense, be any political party who can help us in taking it through the parliament. So that must be the collective effort. I once again thank you for giving me the chance, and I also appreciate it in spite of the fact that there is a little scope for us, but we are hopeful. We have not, as was mentioned, that divine interventions can be there, but in spite of that, I am repeating this point that the bill has already achieved a lot. It has generated a hope, and I am sure that we will also achieve the next step in this sense, and the success will be ours. Thank you, GKPD, and thank you, Vivek Tankha.
Thank you, Ajay. Thanks for your message. Now our speaker is Ashwini ji, Ashwini Chrangu Sahab. My apologies for bringing you so late, but I deliberately brought you late because after you, Vivekji will open up. So Ashwini Chongu Saab has been very, very active with community service and has done multiple high value tasks, undertaken high value tasks. Perhaps the way he has pursued the genocide in the judiciary, and the National Human Rights Commission has been path-breaking. And he also writes to the media, he's involved, he has contributed immensely to the community. It will be great to hear him out. And by the way, he has also provided suggestions to Vivekji for this draft as well. So Ashwini Chongu Saab, floor is yours. Is he unmuted, Shafalika ji? Ashwini ji?
Yeah. Ashwini ji, please unmute yourself.
Am I audible now?
Yes, you are audible.
Okay.
Please.
To start with, मैं पहले ये कहना चाहूँगा कि विवेक जी, आपको कश्मीरी आती है क्या? आप समझ सकते हैं ना कश्मीरी? बिल्कुल नहीं, लेकिन एक बात मुझे कहनी पड़ेगी कश्मीरी में, बाद में आपको बताता तो उसका मतलब क्या है बता देता हूँ. कौशर पर मारा जो आसान इतने कि यम साथ कुंजाई साल आज से ये मुसलमानों मस्जिद है बाटन मस्जिद तब जो आसान ये मत्स्यगंड तो रोग ना ये गश्ताबी सारे को पोतुस खबर तो इथे कहीं थे वो तो है ऐसे अजय भारती जी तो अश्विनी चोंगू सारे को पोतुस तब मतलब वो तो है मोनो कि यम च गश्ताब तो ये मारा ये मत्स्यगंड गी आराम सान खान अच्छुन परवाई पोतुस बेची टेस्ट रोज़ाम ओसस ठीक अम्सित तो ये कोरुते बढ़ जान. I have been carefully listening, firstly to Rakesh, then to Vivek ji, then also to Surender ji, and finally to Ajay ji Badmi. I consider myself a representative of those here in this seminar who are unrepresented in the seminar. I consider myself as a representative of them. My commitments are very deep so far as Margdarshan resolution is concerned, Homeland is concerned, and Pan Kashmir is concerned. Anything, any document, whatever it is, and from whatever source it is coming, if its contents are not in line with what we have said in Margdarshan, it is obvious that we will be not having an agreement with that, the contents. But that does not mean the intent with which it has been prepared, the bill, has any kind of a doubt. I appreciate, number one, and pass on my gratitude to Vivek ji for an expression of intent so far as this bill is concerned. That is the part one. Part two, it is obvious I would not like that return and rehabilitation are my issues. My issue is not return. My issue is not rehabilitation. My issue is the resettlement in a political sense in Kashmir. That is my commitment. That is my point. That is what we have been saying for the last 35 years. And because of one document or the second, that commitment cannot be defaced. That commitment cannot be made irrelevant. And I continue to pursue the same thought process that I am akin to for the last 35 years. Plus, I would like to emphasize, there is no question of any kind of forgetting what happened to us or forgiving what happened to us. I do not want Kashmiri Pandits to resettle in Kashmir the same way as PM package employees are there. PM package employees are virtually captives in Kashmir. I would not like another batch of Kashmiri Pandits to go to Kashmir and live like PM package employees. Those 265 Kashmiri Pandit families who were originally living in Kashmir, we can see with our own eyes what happened to them. In 1995, government said that there were 20,000 families. And in 2025, there are only 265 families, Kashmiri Pandit families. The rest are Khatis, Punjabi Brahmins, and Mahajans, who are living in Udi, Kangan, and other places. What I mean to say when I am speaking all this, I mean to say these are the basic obstacles when we are dealing an issue of legislative discussion. A legislative discussion, when we will bring all these things in a bill, it will be rejected ab initio. When we are going to put all these things in the bill, it will be rejected ab initio. There will be no discussion. I congratulate Vivek ji that he has consciously omitted this part of the Kashmiri Pandit issue and has prepared a bill that can open gates for debate and discussion in a legislature. We are not discussing Kashmiri Pandit issue in the Votu of Radhamali or in the lawns of India Gate. We are discussing this issue in Parliament. We are discussing this issue in legislature. We are discussing this issue with parliamentarians. And we must know how our bill can be introduced. And the best format available was what Vivek ji has produced. That was the best format he has produced. Though I have reservations with the content, though I have reservations with the issues that he has taken up, but still I am in support of this bill only because of one thing, because it opens up gates for debate and discussion in the legislature. I endorse what Ajayji Bharati said. It is not an easy thing to get something discussed in legislatures. It is not an easy thing. It's a Herculean task. And if Vivek ji has opened the gates, it creates also an opportunity for those who do not believe in the content of the bill to give their opinion and amendments. What should be done to make this bill more attractive, more accommodative, and more acceptable? So, my once again great thanks to Vivek ji for opening up a stage for the discussion on the issue of Kashmiri Pandits. Having said all this, I know the issue of genocide was 50% the war won. It was in 1999 when the National Human Rights Commission came out with a judgment in June 1999 that acts akin to genocide have been committed against Kashmiri Pandits, and a genocide type design may exist against them. Kashmiri Pandits have not been given due understanding and relief, but they have shown their resilience, unquote. This is what National Human Rights Commission has said. I would have wished those who are opposing this bill, I would have wished even those who are supporting the bill should have inscribed National Human Rights Commission pronouncements regarding genocide in the bill, or whatever format they are producing, that they should have started with that. What National Human Rights Commission has said. It is half of your battle won. Then you are talking about National Human Rights Commission, what they pronounced about Kashmiri Pandits. Number last, and that is that this bill I know will not be passed. Number one, this bill I know will not be allowed to be introduced also. But if there is even 1% of chance and opportunity, Vivekji, go for it. We are with you. Even if there is 1% of chance, go for it. Never say die before the death. I request you to pursue this. We will all support you, despite our reservations here or there, because it opens up a debate at a very crucial level. That is the legislature, the parliament, and the ministry. And moreover, let me congratulate you for one thing. That is the minimum that you have added to our struggle. What is that? You have made this issue a part of the records and documentation of Parliament by producing this kind of a piece of legislation. Thank you very much for that. I know its value. You also know its value. And I know you are doing because you know its value. Otherwise, what happens in Parliament, you are more aware about it, more conscious about it. Our full support to you, despite our commitments, despite our thinking, despite our way of approach, and despite our, what we say, commitment to the cause of Kashmiri Pandits to relive in Kashmir. Despite all that, we support you, completely support you. Thanks, GKPD, for supporting Vivekji. Thank you, Vivekji. You have taken some of my points which I conveyed to you in your bill. I am highly thankful to you. I wish you to live in the parliament at least for the next 20 years. Live in the parliament at least for next 20 years. Even if it is lapsed today, you can take it up in the next session. You can take it up in the next term. Thank you very much. So kind of you. All good luck. Good luck to all of you. Sarve bhavantu sukhina, sarve santu niramaya, sarve bhadrani pashyantu ma kasyat dukha bhage.
Thank you, Ashwani ji, for your strong message. I'm an optimist. Our community is optimist. We have lived our experiences of 35 years of patience, resilience, and success. And we are very positive that Vivek ji will find out it. He has made it reach to this extent. He mentioned that this is the beginning. And this is the beginning that the community should support, which they are actually. There's a huge support coming from the community. And I'm sure that much more will come, because every individual has a responsibility, every organization has a responsibility, every group has a responsibility, every think tank has a responsibility, and that is how we strengthen this, and we remain optimistic. And I'm seeing that even the government, current dispensation, is taking a note of this thing. And let's all be optimistic, but at the same time, be hopeful, and let us see how it goes. Now, at this stage, I will bring Vivek ji back again, and then after that, we'll conclude with Utpal ji, who is always at the end. I'm immensely thankful to him with his patience. So, Vivek ji, floor is yours. Shafalka ji, could you
Vivek ji, can you unmute yourself, please? I think his audio is off.
Vivek ji, do you hear me?
Yeah, he's okay. Yeah.
Thank you, Surinder ji, and thank you everybody. In fact, मैं तो बहुत intently सबको सुन रहा था, because आप लोग मुझसे ज़्यादा experienced हैं about what is happening in Kashmir. So I wanted to gain from your words and from your experiences. In fact, everything that you said were words of wisdom for me. सबसे पहले तो मैं बताऊं कि अश्विनी जी, मेरी दादी को कश्मीरी मालूम थी. मेरी दादी और दादा कश्मीरी बोलते थे. उसके बाद अनफॉर्चुनेटली मदर फादर क्योंकि मध्य प्रदेश में थे तो वो छूट गई और हम लोग तक वो फिर पहुंची नहीं। इसलिए ये तो हमारा दुर्भाग्य है कि हम लैंग्वेज को पिकअप नहीं कर पाए बिकॉज ऑफ द एनवायरनमेंट, बिकॉज हम थे नहीं वहाँ। और कश्मीर जाते थे मोर टू विजिट कश्मीर, टू विजिट पेरेंट्स, टू विजिट रिलेटिव्स। बल्कि जो उपेंद्र किशन कौल, संजय कौल के जो दादाजी थे, वो और मेरी दादी सगी भाई बहन है। और उनके पिताजी, ही वॉज द प्राइम मिनिस्टर ऑफ कश्मीर इन 31-32 आई थिंक, सरदया किशन कौल। और उनके भाई साहब यूज्ड टू बी द प्राइम मिनिस्टर ऑफ पटियाला स्टेट आई थिंक, हरि किशन कौल। तो लिंक्स तो बहुत पुराने हैं और कश्मीरियत कूट कूट के भरी है, बट लैंग्वेज सीखूंगा आपसे मैं।
Vivek ji, I would like to interject you. My apologies. Just one second. I just wanted to say that, when I was in Bhopal, we had a large section of Kashmiri Pandits who had, like Tankha Sahab. But I was so inspired. They have maintained many cultures. You will see them wearing dejhor every time, all the time.
पहनते हैं,
Yeah,
शादियों में
yeah.
सब फेस्टिवल में।
And जो wedding होती है, Posh Puja is the ritual of, they call it Fulon ka Gehna, if I'm not mistaken. They have maintained that culture. Obviously, for hundreds of years living there, that creates this thing. But despite that, they have maintained the key things of our culture. Back to you, Vivek ji. Sorry about that.
एंड जैसे आपने बोला, सुशील मोदी जी को मैं बहुत बहुत लाइक करता था, वो मुझे बहुत पसंद करते थे। हम लोग दोनों एक ही स्टैंडिंग कमेटी में थे, एंड इन हिज एब्सेंस ही यूज्ड टू आस्क मी टू हेड द स्टैंडिंग कमेटी। दिस इज लॉ, जस्टिस, पर्सनल, इंपॉर्टेंट स्टैंडिंग कमेटी। इतना ज्यादा सुशील मोदी जी मुझे ट्रस्ट करते थे और कई बातों पे हम लोग बहुत एग्री करते थे, और कश्मीर वाज आल्सो वन ऑफ देम। एंड आई एम सॉरी वी लॉस्ट हिम वेरी अर्ली। ही वॉज अ ग्रेट एसेट टू द पार्लियामेंट, ग्रेट एसेट टू द पार्लियामेंट। और मेरे तो बड़े अच्छे मित्र थे, हम लोगों ने बहुत संग में ट्रैवल भी किया था एज पार्ट ऑफ कमिटी। और मैं एक चीज बोलता हूँ कि व्हाट वाज वेरी टचिंग टुडे, ऑल ऑफ सुरेंद्र जी एंड ऑल फ्रेंड्स, जो आज रोहित जी को जो मैंने सुना और जो कैंप के रिप्रेजेंटेटिव्स को सुना, इट एक्चुअली टच्ड माय हार्ट। कैसे कैसे ये लोग बेचारे अपनी जिंदगी बिता रहे होंगे वहां, किन स्थितियों में बिता रहे होंगे, व्हाट दे मस्ट बी थिंकिंग, कितने हेल्पलेस होंगे। चले तो गए वहां पर एश्योरेंस के, मगर उस एश्योरेंस के बाद जो एक सेंस ऑफ सिक्योरिटी, फ्रीडम, लिबर्टी, फ्रेटर्निटी, everything is missing, everything is missing. So as I said, this bill is not about Congress or BJP, it's about humanity, sir. I am not here as a representative of any party. I happen to be a parliamentarian and happen to be a Kashmiri Pandit. I am living your ethos, I am living your pain, I am living your agony. और आज सुनने के बाद तो मेरा दिल और बैठ गया है, सच बता रहा हूं। रोहित जी, मैं आपको एश्योर करता हूं, मैं अपनी पूरी ताकत लगाऊंगा और जितना मुझे जिसके पास भी जाना पड़ेगा सबके पास जाऊंगा और रिक्वेस्ट करूंगा कि इस बिल को सपोर्ट करो। और आपके साथ तो जब आप लोगों का समर्थन आएगा साथ में, इट विल मेक ऑल द डिफरेंस। और लास्ट में
थैंक यू,
मैं लास्ट में ये कहना चाहूंगा कि वो डेफिनेशन के बारे में वैष्णव साहब शायद बोल रहे थे, वो आप अगर मेरा डेफिनेशन पढ़ लें, वो एक्सटेंडेड डेफिनेशन ही मैंने दिया है। हमने उन सब लोगों को इंक्लूड किया है जो कश्मीरी और वैष्णव संप्रदाय से जुड़े हैं, बट विथ कश्मीरी एंटीसीडेंट्स। अगर आप खाली वैष्णव संप्रदाय से जुड़े हो, कश्मीरी एंटीसीडेंट्स नहीं है, तो आप कश्मीरी नहीं हो सकते। तो लाइनेज भी इंपॉर्टेंट है, कनेक्ट भी इंपॉर्टेंट है, और वो सब देखते हुए हम लोगों ने बड़े केयरफुली क्राफ्ट किया। अश्विनी जी, आप लोग सबने तो बिल को देखा था बिफोर इट वाज प्रेजेंटेड। सुरेंद्र जी, कितने लोगों ने देखा था? मैंने तो सबकी, आई एम एन ओपन बुक। मैं कोई चोरी थोड़ी कर रहा हूं कि मैं छुपा के करूंगा। मैं अपन लोग सब मिलकर देश सेवा कर रहे हैं, और मैंने तो इसलिए देश सेवा में तो मैं तो सबकी आहुति लेता हूं। हम लोग सब उस यज्ञ में आहुति देंगे, एक साथ मिलके देंगे, क्योंकि ये किसी एक व्यक्ति का विषय थोड़ी है, ये कोई मेरा विषय अकेले का थोड़ी है, ये तो पूरी कम्युनिटी का विषय है। मैं तो एक बाय चांस ईश्वर की कृपा से मैं वहां हूं, और एक व्यक्ति हूं जो आपके पैशन को लेके आगे बढ़ने को तैयार था, और मैंने अपनी अपनी तैयारी को एक बिल के रूप में ट्रांसलेट कर दी। अब वो ट्रांसलेट करके मैं तो खुद अचंभा हूं कि द बिल का जो 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 ट्रैक्शन देख रहा हूं मैं, ये तो मैंने एक्सपेक्ट नहीं किया था, सच बताऊं आपको सुरेंद्र जी, अश्विनी जी। मैं तो एक नॉर्मल पार्लियामेंटेरियन और एक कश्मीरी पैशनेट कश्मीरी के तौर से मैंने किया था, बट अब मुझे लग रहा है कि बिल में जो जो होप इग्नाइट की है, और जो जो एक डिबेट और डिस्कशन को रीओपन किया है, जैसे अश्विनी जी ने कहा कि, और कई लोगों ने बोला कि ये दिस इज अ बिगिनिंग, इट हैज स्टार्टेड अ डिबेट, बट हमको इस डिबेट को परस्यू करना पड़ेगा। वी विल नॉट लेट इट डाई, क्योंकि ये डिबेट्स नहीं तो बहुत इजीली खत्म खत्म हो सकते हैं। डोंट डू एनीथिंग फॉर 2 years, इट विल डाई नेचुरल डेथ। तो हम इसको परस्यू करेंगे, इसमें चेंजेस भी आएंगे, इसमें बहुत सारी नीचे चीजें इनकॉर्पोरेट हो गया। मैं तो आई एम ओपन टू इट। मैंने तो एक ड्राफ्ट बनाया है, अब इस ड्राफ्ट को जो है इसके इसमें फिनिशिंग टचेस तो बहुत लोग देंगे, और सरकारें देंगी, सरकार देती है। इनफैक्ट ये सब चीजें बिना सरकार के तो हो नहीं सकती है। आप ये बताइए कि क्या इतने बड़ा फाइनेंशियल इंप्लीकेशन का बिल इसके पहले कभी कितने बिल को एसेंट मिली है प्रेसिडेंट की आज तक? मैं तो खुद सरप्राइज हूं कि राष्ट्रपति की एसेंट मुझे कैसे मिल गई। जब तक गवर्नमेंट ने इस चीज को ठीक नहीं समझा होगा, या इस लायक नहीं समझा होगा, इट आई वुड नॉट हैव गॉट द एसेंट ऑफ द प्रेसिडेंट। प्रेसिडेंट मीन्स द कैबिनेट, द प्रेसिडेंट मीन्स द प्राइम मिनिस्टर, द होम मिनिस्टर। सो आई एम हैप्पी दैट ग्रेजुअली लोगों को ये एक्सेप्टेंस डाउन हो रहा है, बिकॉज ऑफ आर एफर्ट, नॉट माई एफर्ट, आर एफर्ट, दैट कश्मीरी पंडित्स का इशू नीड्स अ रेजोल्यूशन, इट नीड्स अ सोल्यूशन। एंड वो हाफ हार्टेड सोल्यूशन नहीं होना चाहिए। जैसे किसी ने ठीक बोला, हम इसलिए वापस थोड़ी जाएंगे कि फिर हमारे साथ वही एक्सपीरियंस हो। तो दैट इज व्हाई आई हैव आल्सो spoken about this in this bill about security, a paramilitary force, a police force of the Kashmiri Pandits. You have to make them secure in every way, financially, politically, representative wise, socially, economically, and तभी तो वो वहां पर सेटअप हो पाएंगे, नहीं तो कैसे सेटअप होंगे? तो हम, इट्स अ बिग रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी, अ बिग चैलेंज, अ बिग टास्क, बट आई एम श्योर व्हेन वी वर्क और इन सिनर्जी। एंड सुरेंद्र जी, एक मेरा और सजेशन है, बीच बीच में लेट अस कीप हैविंग दीज मीटिंग्स, जूम मीटिंग्स। इससे क्या होगा, what has happened in these 2-3 months, we must keep reviewing, and आपकी तरफ से भी सजेशंस आने चाहिए कि each one of us और क्या कर सकता है। Take it for granted, tomorrow itself मेरी चिट्ठियां सब सीनियर लीडर्स ऑफ पॉलिटिकल पार्टीज को चली जाएंगी who matter in the parliament, seeking prioritization for my bill। मेरे को पता है उसमें कोई एक्शन नहीं कर ले पाएंगे वो, क्योंकि फ्राइडे को 5 बिल लगेंगे, मैं 5th हूं। अगर एक बिल भी 2 घंटे चलेगा, दो बिल 2 घंटे चलेंगे, उसमें 4 घंटे खत्म हो जाएंगे। बट एक उनको गिल्ट फीलिंग रहेगी, ये बार बार विवेक तनखा बोल रहा है, बार बार पूरी कम्युनिटी बोल रही है, और हम डिस्कशन नहीं करा पा रहे हैं। इस सेशन में नहीं होगा तो दे विल इंश्योर कि नेक्स्ट सेशन में फिर मेरा बिल बैलेट में आ जाए। ये लोग देखिए, गवर्नमेंट जब चाहती है तो कुछ भी कर सकती है, and these bills only get passed when the government supports, and अभी तक प्राइवेट मेंबर बिल्स की हिस्ट्री में ओनली 6 bills in the history of India, I believe, as private member bills have been cleared, only 6 bills। और किसी ने जैसे राइटली कहा कि शायद लास्ट 20-30 ईयर में तो कोई एक भी नहीं हुआ है। तो लेट अस मेक एन अटेम्प्ट। माँ शारदा हमारे साथ हैं, माँ राज्ञा हमारे साथ हैं, हमारी देवी देवता हमारे साथ हैं। आई एम श्योर कभी ना कभी तो हमारे साथ जस्टिस होगा। एंड वाई लूज होप? आई थिंक होप लूज करने की हम वाई शुड बी लूज होप? वी विल कीप आवर होप अलाइव एंड कीप फाइटिंग फॉर दैट होप। लेट्स ऑल डू इट टुगेदर।
Thank you, Vivek ji. Thank you. It has been a very enlightening session. I know I leave that everything to Utpal ji. Well, Utpal ji के बारे में जितना बोले उतना कम रहेगा. He is a legend. He is everywhere in about community. Wherever community things are, he is always there in the front line. But I am honored that he's currently in my house in Houston. So we were very honored to have him and his family. And I'm glad that he is doing this thanks session from another room in my house. So I just wanted to say that. So Utpal ji, floor is yours now.
Namaskar, Vivek ji. Namaskar, sabko. I want to tell you that Vivek ji, I was honored and I was invited by people of Madhya Pradesh in June 90. So I had a big meeting in Bhopal, in Gwalior, and in Indore, and big press conferences. The first contribution for Sahita Samiti for Kashmiri Pandits we got from Bhopal in March 1990. So we have a very strong connection, like rest of India. Kashmiri Pandits have very good connection with Madhya Pradesh. And you know that your relations, Sham Sundar Mushranji's family, Naguji's family, I think almost 50 years back, they visited us in Ranawari in Kashmir. Having said that, let me also tell you, Vivek ji, that I was the coordinator of Marg Darshan. So I was like today, I'm giving the thanks. I gave thanks to all nearly 700 delegates in 91 and told them that this Marg Darshan resolution is path-breaking and this is the resolution which we have to follow. But today, when you made this and all of us joined for this bill, now I can say that Vivek Tankha ji's bill is the practical version of Marg Darshan. Because if we take Marg Darshan resolution as it is, no MP, no one will take us inside the parliament. So this is what I can say from here, from Surendarji's home in Houston in USA, that this is the practical version, which is practical, which is achievable. So this is very, very important. And now I can say it is really path-breaking. In Mahabharata, when they were fighting, but some enemy came, so there was a slogan from both the sides, Vayam Panchadikatam Shatam. We are not 5 brothers, we are not 100 brothers, we are 105. And today, I appeal to Panun Kashmir, I appeal to all Kashmiri Pandit organizations, whether they are in Kashmir, in Jammu, in Delhi, Bangalore, Mumbai, or elsewhere. Whether Kashmiri Pandit organizations in New Zealand, in Australia, in US, or any part of the world, let us join together. This bill is voice of Kashmiri Pandits. And so this bill has come after 36 years. We are struggling for last 700 years. But now is the time that this struggle will get some winning. Let us win now and let us support this bill totally. And so I thank you. बहुत बहुत आशीर्वाद माता शारदा का, शारिका का, माता रागिनिया का, माता ज्वाला का, अमरनाथ जी आपके साथ में हैं, हम सब आपके साथ में हैं, हम सब इकट्ठे हैं. We are united. We are totally united and we will definitely win. और जहां जहां से आप सब ने ज्वाइन किया, I am personally thankful. I am thankful on behalf of Global Kashmiri Pandit Diaspora. So God bless you भगवान आपके साथ है। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।
Thank you, Utpalji. Always a concluding wonderful message to all the community members. It has been a really wonderful session. I should immensely thank Radio Zindagi, who was playing it live everywhere, and thanks to their audience for listening and supporting our initiatives. And also, I should commend the Kashmir Dialogue, the channel, who has played a very important role in initiating the discussion about the bill, in talking about from all the sides of the community. And we are immensely thankful to the community for the tsunami of support that you are doing. But I will conclude this and repeat Utpalji's message that everybody has a responsibility. Please, please, and please, we have to do it for what our community endured, for what our community faced, and how our sections of the community are struggling in Kashmir. It is our moral duty. This is our ethical duty. This is our dharma to stand for them and try to do things that undo the injustice that our community has faced. Vivekji, once again, we are immensely thankful to you, the way you are taking it up, and the using the tools of democracy, being our voice, being our ambassador. Thank you so much. Namaskar. We will conclude this event.
नमस्कार।
Thank you so much.
सर्वत्र नमस्कार।
बहुत बढ़िया सेशन गया।